How you doing?
Amazing. It's my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
How we doing, fellas?
It's super exciting.
College
right now.
football release time.
Yeah,
that is the good stuff.
To jump right into it, man. I was pretty hyped about the first trailer for the game back in 25. The second trailer for the game.
Yeah.
This third one, I liked it, but man, I kind of like that 90s, 80s classic rock stuff. What about you?
Honestly, because they just dropped everything at once this year, the trailer I just didn't care for because you had so much better information.
Yeah.
Right, you're not trying to pick it apart for every little detail you can find like we have in
Yeah, like we're gonna. We gotta wait 2 weeks.
Right.
No.
Right.
So let's jump right into it, man.
Yeah. So I guess the first question is like, you're obviously a gamer, just like we are. You like the college football game. How did you make that turn from being a gamer to a content creator?
Honestly, I just was bored over the summer. I had done it a couple years before and got a few thousand subs off it just playing the game for fun. And I thought, I'll give this another shot, just throw up some videos, revive this old channel, see what happens. And it immediately took off. The whole time I'd been continuing to play the game for years behind the scenes, just I didn't feel like making content on it. I didn't feel like I was good enough at making content to be successful with it.
Right.
And
this was 14 that you were playing for a long time, or other
correct.
games? Okay. Yep.
It was 14. I started with 14 and then brought me back into 14. I mean, when I was younger, I played the old games on the PS2.
Right.
But once I was able to get revamped, that was like a whole other game compared to 14 that just set everything off, because now it really feels like college football, especially when you can mod in the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah,
definitely.
It was so similar to the college football experience.
They did a great job. Yeah, with simulating. This is really the only game series, this and Madden, that are aimed at simulating the game. And they've done a fantastic job of it. And this year, they're taking that simulation to a whole other level. We want to talk about this year's game, but I want to talk about you first.
Yeah, we're going to get to, 27 in its time.
Right.
But first, you're known for these long marathon type videos that are, hour long, 2 hours long, 3 hours long. But at first you were doing like TikToks, very short videos. How did you manage to port an entire audience from this short kind of content, that's bang, 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 to this long form video? How did that work?
Well, I saw somebody else doing it in a different space, in the Football Manager space, soccer game, and his name was Crow, and I was like, this content's good. I was watching it myself. He'd put like these 10 to 12 minute videos out, full season in one video, and then I noticed on TikTok he was also posting them there. So I really was posting on YouTube, but then it clicked, I should probably cut this up for short form as well. And when people would watch one short form, knowing that the full long form was already out, they didn't want to wait for me to post the rest of the series.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. What a good idea.
So they just went over. It was a blessing. It was such a blessing. Like everything that's happened, I kept stumbling upwards, luckily.
That's the way to go, man.
So you make these long videos that cover an entire dynasty over a single video. So the video itself is like 2 hours or longer. How long does it actually take you to, like, from start to finish, to make a video like that?
I'd say 15 to 20 hours for most of them.
Right.
Sometimes if it's a little bit shorter, I can get away with anywhere from 8 to 10, and those feel amazing because it's a lot shorter of a video.
It's like a day off.
Yeah. But
there are some I dread because I just know it's going to be a long session. But once I get started, and then I'm like, wait, I'm playing video games for a living, it goes all the way. I'm like, oh, this is awesome again.
So that was going to be my next question is, at some point, playing video games was purely done just for fun. And then it became a way to make money. Well, once things become a way to make money, it kind of becomes a job. And so at some point, did playing video games start to feel like now it's a job?
Oh, absolutely it does. Because everything is so optimized. Like, I still have fun with it, thankfully. But obviously, I have a strict plan for, okay, this will work, this will not. I kind of know that there's certain things I can't do on the game just because I think it's a fun idea if it's not going to convert and keep people entertained.
Give us an example of that. Something that you might enjoy doing but wouldn't translate.
If I just wanted to wake up one day and do a rebuild with, let's see, Bowling Green.
Sure.
Okay.
I could do it, and it would probably do all right, but I need a way to brand it and package it to make it presentable to a large audience.
Okay.
And so I have to conceptualize a way, whether it's a one-star school, and then someone's like, oh, I want to see them rebuild a one-star program, or it's the worst team in Ohio, or there's some other challenge linked into there. I have to think of a way to package it to make you want to watch a Bowling Green rebuild versus like Alabama loses their second game of the year. I know for a fact I can just fire up Alabama. I can have fun for a couple of years.
Yeah,
and a lot more people are interested in seeing Alabama just get played with in the first place.
Right. They have a much bigger fan base, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, tapping into that massive Bowling Green fan base is a pretty juicy idea.
Yeah. I guess that explains why we haven't seen the much needed UNLV build yet.
Yeah, or that Reno Wolfpack
UNLV has been good, though.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
That's true.
If a small school has been good, I just cannot ever touch them because I'm immediately winning the conference no matter what.
Yeah, it's like the drama's taken out of it. And the struggle is that's the fun part. And especially because someone like you have your fans and you have your haters, right? And so there's haters that want to watch you lose, right? They want to watch you struggle, and they'll hate watch your channel. And great, hate the hell out of it. Hate the hell out of this podcast. You know, just hate listen till
as long as you keep listening.
till it's all gone, right?
Well,
so
honestly, haters are like your biggest fans. Almost. They're a bigger fan than people that just like casually watch you. Because they keep up so much more.
They're invested.
And they're always looking for something. Yeah.
And so
you learn to love it. You want
to
make them love you eventually.
Yeah, sure. You prod them a little bit, hit them with a stick, you know, and like.
So what about the hate on your end? Like, I know from building bad schools, and Anthony does it as well. We love that part of the game, but sometimes it can get so frustrating that this team just. God, I just cannot get a freaking tight end to come to the school or something like that. Do you deal with that when you're building these programs?
Honestly, no. At this point, I have a pretty good grasp on what I need to do.
Right. There's a formula.
Yeah, so then I'll throw in more challenges for myself. Like, I'll be like, okay, well, now I'll only recruit players from Ohio for Bowling Green.
Sure.
And then I can't find a tight end. Then there's no way for me to find one. Yeah. If I don't get lucky.
Now I'll stand down the hall and use a series of mirrors to play to play upside down.
Correct.
You know?
I played college football 26 blind. Like, you could really just continue to make it harder.
Right.
Yeah, that's
to
a good
always give
idea.
yourself the challenge. I think that's what keeps it fun.
Yeah, the challenges, different like restrictions you put on yourself and things like that. That is the way, because eventually you're going to figure the computer out. It's just the way it is.
Right. Like Anthony does what he calls the suicide playbook. And briefly explain to Bordeaux what that is.
So what that is, I build a playbook with only, say, 80 plays in it for like 6-minute quarters. And I'm only allowed to call each play once, period. And so I eventually I can run out of plays, which is a whole separate set of problems. Is that and at the end of the game, I might only have like 9 plays to choose from. And that's it. And so if somebody drops a ball and that was like my money play, well, that's it. It's gone. And I do this with like all kinds of dynasties. I do it even in recruiting, where I can only load my board at the beginning of the season, and then anybody I lose, they're just gone. And so, like, I'm doing one now, and I'm down to 15 recruits total.
He's putting his thinking cap on.
Yeah, I'll send you the whole thing, man.
I like that.
Of course.
I'm the idea guy, man.
We want to see good content out there. So enjoy, run with it.
Yeah, dude. If you did that, it'd be a pretty big deal. So what's like a challenge you've done where maybe halfway through the challenge you were like, okay, I bit off more than I can chew?
1 stars only. I have realized you could do it on 14.
Yeah.
Because you would just get plus 4 or 5 every year, no matter what, in training results. It is impossible unless you are playing every single game to win with 1 stars only.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds... Because your team is going to be rated in like the 50s.
Well, and all these players are going to get capped. Like their skill caps are so low.
Right. They're just not going to get better.
Your quarterback's just drooling on the sideline. You're like, come on,
buddy.
They
have like 75 speed. Every single player. Like,
that's
if you find a gym, it's the greatest thing ever. You got an 81 speed receiver, but It's miserable.
Okay.
That was so bad I wouldn't even touch it on 26.
So let's talk about your page. You're on your YouTube. It's Bordeaux, Bordaux, the standard spelling of Bordeaux. Yep. And you make videos, these long-form videos, where you'll rebuild programs, you'll go through dynasties. Most of our listeners already follow your page, or they already know what's going on. But if there's anybody listening who doesn't know about your YouTube page, what all can they find there in addition to these long-form videos about building dynasties?
My favorite stuff to do is, and I think this is another thing that keeps it fun for me, is I'll just throw every team into a tournament and see who the best one is. Or we have this imperialism concept where I spin a wheel, lands on the team, and whatever direction the wheel's pointing, they have to attack the team in that direction. And they kind of take over land until at the very end there's one left. That's been a huge hit.
That's awesome. That sounds really fun. I don't know how I missed that one.
Yeah. So,
so how did it go? Give us the brief rundown. I mean, no spoilers if you don't want to spoil it, but
I mean, there was one. Most of the time, a huge school ends up winning. But once you take over so much land, you get attacked by a lot more often. And one time, it was Ohio that won the whole thing, and I'm just sitting there like, how has this happened?
Ohio, the Bobcats. Oh my God,
are the greatest team.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Oh, dude, that's really cool. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have an audience that's probably going to mutiny if we don't talk about 27 a little bit at this point.
I was about to say, use me for all the information.
So before we get into that, though, you're in the room, so to speak, with EA. Right, when they're developing the game and along the way as it takes its baby steps till release. Can you explain how much in the room are you?
I'm honestly not in the room that much. Like this year specifically, I got to go out to the cover shoot.
Yeah.
So I knew what the cover was going to look like. I knew about Mascot Mashup far before that was coming, just because you hear some things whenever you're around all this stuff. But outside of that, I was telling them, do not tell me anything. I want to be surprised this year.
Well, sure.
That's cool. It's kind of like that Matt Brown who we had on recently, where he hears that they're asking for a lot more information about mascots this year. And so that kind of gives you an inkling. Okay, but you were generally in the dark about what was coming. But what about your conversations? Because you talk about, I just watched earlier today your hour-long deep dive into everything that's coming, and you mentioned the developers multiple times, and that this is a good guy. So what are those conversations like?
They're honestly really fun because I get to sit there. They want the positive feedback too, but more so than anything else, they're just searching the web for as much criticism as they can find and trying to find a way to dig into that and what can we do to make it better. So
sure, that's a smart way to do it.
Especially on my first couple of phone calls ever, or just meeting them in person. They're like, okay, yeah, obviously you enjoy the game. It's fun, but what don't you like about it? Give us some sort of criticism. And so then you start diving into that, what you like, what you don't like. But I feel like my input is in the same group as just a random comment online. If they see the same feedback consistently, I could, I guess, claim, maybe I contributed to that, but it's most likely tons of other people. A couple bug fixes. That is what I can take credit for.
All right.
There have been a couple bug fixes I've sent over that bugged me, and eventually they got patched that maybe someone else didn't notice. But outside of that,
call one out.
I feel like I don't have much impact.
Take credit right here. What was one of the bug fixes?
What was it on 25? It was so annoying.
All right, well, we can come back to it because I got another question.
If it pops in your head, just scream it out.
Yeah,
I will remember this because it drove me nuts for 3 months, and then it's just why am I not saying anything about this?
Yeah, if you have their ear, you might as well.
Oh, I'd be texting them nonstop.
So if that comes back to you,
drunk
that's
style.
fine. In the meantime, it seems like EA did exactly what you're talking about, where they listened to the complaints. Like Anthony and I were saying, it felt like they listened to the season 2 of the Scafativerse, because one of the things we complained about was practices at Road to Glory are way too limited. You're just doing the same drills all the time. Well, now there's 50 different practice modes on Road to Glory. So what else can we expect from Road to Glory? What have they listened to us about?
I'm hoping they listen on the high school end and we can play full high school games. But I'm glad you all said that, because if I say it, I sound like I'm just getting paid to say it. So I'm glad it can come out of your all's mouth.
Oh, I could go on for an hour about all the things that I think they should fix. Like,
but our listeners want to hear
high school.
Yep.
Make high school longer for sure. I want to be able to play the full games. I do
like in 13 and 14 and
But it's just, I don't think it's great in practice. Sometimes you want to play the full high school games.
Right. So our listeners want to hear. Agreed. Our listeners want to hear from you. What can we look forward to in Road to Glory that's different from previous seasons?
Oh, what's new this year?
Yeah.
Well, they changed up the whole player build, and now you have different caps, and you can kind of model yourself after legends. I like the exams. The exams are the cool thing to me.
Where if you don't study, they actually get harder.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to fail college
hit
again.
with some of the hard ones.
Yeah. That's great. That's fun. And there's new positions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's new positions. People have been wanting that.
Safety, right? Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing like tight end. That's dude, I want to be like 6'8" and like 280 and just soft hands. Give me a break.
Well, so Bordeaux, talk about that, because I saw in your video that if you make yourself like 280, then you're not going to be able to have 95 speed.
No, thank God.
Unfortunately not. I played around with the build creator, and I did get like a 5'7" quarterback with 99 speed. He would have died. He had like 82 throw power. And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that you don't have those broken players like we've had in every version before this.
Yeah, but it's an offline mode. Like, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. If it was online, it makes more sense. But since it's offline...
that's a good point. Right.
You kind of want to just have your fun
sandbox,
with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so what about Dynasty? That's your favorite mode. It's my favorite mode.
My favorite mode, too.
It's pretty much everybody's. What are the big changes that you're looking forward to really diving into in the next generation, in this iteration?
To me, the biggest change is Team Builder. It's not even going to be the budget and the whole NIL system and all that. That's awesome. But I like Team Builder the most because you can update the school stadium every year. You can update your jersey. So if you want to have a different alternate jersey every year, you can update it. I'm imagining on the website you could edit your players on there and all sorts of stuff as well, since you could do that previously. But it finally gives a reason for Team Builder to only be on online files.
Yeah, I've always found it really frustrating that I couldn't play an offline Dynasty with Team Builder. But like you're saying, at least they've added a whole bunch of new functionality to it that takes advantage of it being online.
Well,
you have to actually connect for it now.
So I haven't got a chance to mess with the Team Builder at all. For the stadiums, can you customize the stadium, like the logos and things like that are around? Because like the sponsors, for example, that are like kind of around the stadium.
Yeah, I like Marco's Pizza.
I have no idea. The Team Builder is not out yet. Oh, okay. So I have not seen any of that.
Yeah, because that's
I just
honestly,
know that you can update it.
That's what I'm hoping for, is so that I could start putting like Pound Town Chicken like around there and all the different fun sponsors that I've come up with. No, that will be a good
I feel
one.
Like you might be squares about that,
dude. I got man. The possibilities are limitless.
You can't do custom sounds. They added to where you
yes. Oh my god.
No, he says you cannot. No.
Oh
no.
Dude, I was so excited.
They have like a set amount you can use.
Yeah.
But I think for the same reasoning as the custom signs.
Oh, dude, that was one of my favorite
you allow anyone
things.
to upload any sound.
Yeah, it was back in like 06 or whatever.
No, 13, you could have custom stadium sounds. So you could do like your own intro for your team, and it had like cut scenes.
Oh, those were the days.
Was so great. You could like come into like, the Who and stuff like that. Dude, I used to get nuts, man. It was so great. That was like my favorite part of the thing.
Maybe one day we get that. I don't know what the reasoning is for not being able to upload custom sounds or create a sign. Create a sign would be a cool thing to come back to.
Create a sign's another big one, right? So you could have, James Big Sack, Bordeaux, and stuff like that.
That's what you do, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole reason to have it, So
yeah. All right. So what else in the new game are you excited about? Or what have you gotten like feedback from your fans about?
Definitely the budget system. Right. Just actually having to spend money to keep players around based on how they perform, based on if they're unhappy or not. I mean, these guys, they want so much money for how bad they are sometimes.
Yeah, that's the truth.
it's a whole other element. And I've only tested with USF like thoroughly so far.
Okay.
I haven't experienced a Kent State or someone like with USF. I probably had 5 times the amount of money as a Kent State still.
And
so
USF comes in
that's
as like
gonna
a
be a challenge.
3-star? Is that where their prestige is at? Like 2.5,
USF's
3?
like a 1.5.
Oh, geez.
But they're in the American.
Yeah.
And so the American makes like 1,000 a year off of their conference prestige alone.
Okay.
There's some better brand exposure. It's
Right.
tied to stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting because one of the things that I've heard is that like building a 1-star school now is going to be like a multi-year process where before you could pretty much take any school and in 3 years you're like kind of right in the mix. From what I hear now, it's going to be 6, 7, 8 seasons down the road if you're like playing at Kent State, for example, where there is no NIL budget. You know, you're just kind of taking whatever's left over.
And then on top of that, I've heard from your review of it that if you have a player who's a star, and we've all had these players, like they're an 82 wide receiver, but for whatever reason, they just go off and have 130 catches and they're a Heisman candidate, that all of a sudden next year, they're going to be asking for that big money.
Yes, they will. So, and it'll show up. I think people might be upset with it or confused because it just shows up as whatever deal breaker they have, or maybe it's just playing time.
Right.
It doesn't really make sense because you're like, I fed this guy 130 catches.
Yeah.
Why
Right.
is it saying he's meeting the playing time deal breaker?
Right.
The reality is he had 130 catches and the next closest in the country at 87.
Right.
Yeah.
He is
Now he wants
going
that
to
payday.
demand money.
Yeah, he's off to Texas.
Right.
And there you go. You know, it's like, just bye, sir.
Anthony, you ready to talk about real money, actual dollars in the real world?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
So outside of streaming,
Yeah.
you have another thing going on called student seats.
Correct.
All right. Tell our listeners about that.
So, a big issue on very specific college campuses is with the lottery system some of these schools have, they are not able to get students tickets to every game. If you go to a school like Alabama, a lot more students want tickets than the seats they have available in the section. So, there's no way for students to get a ticket if they don't get it in the lottery or whatever system the school has, and then they decide to try and buy a student ticket on Snapchat, on GroupMe, and you're just praying that the person on the other end after you send money sends you the ticket.
Right.
And most of the time, you get scammed.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. So there was a kid down on Alabama's campus about 5 years ago. Great guy. He decided, I'm going to solve this. I'm going to fix this. And he built it up from Alabama and then slowly expanded from there. And I recently got involved. But it is just been really cool to see. Like, we went down to Alabama last year. We were just showing off student seats, telling kids about it. And they're like, oh, we already used that. Oh, we already have the app.
Wow.
Oh, I love this.
So this is kind of the StubHub of student tickets, where it's like a verified ticket exchange.
Yeah, we just protect the ticket. So we hold the money.
Right.
And then, of course, release the funds after the ticket's been transferred.
Okay. That makes sense. So it's more like you're like the escrow, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
And we don't have any selling fees if you're selling your ticket. So
Oh, dude, that's
we want to
great.
make sure.
Well, sure. These students,
Yeah,
it's not
right.
like, you know, they
they're
got
on a
like
budget.
unlimited money. Well,
Right.
you know.
They're not getting NIL
Yeah, they're not
money.
getting NIL for that science degree, you know.
So how
It at
far
least
is it?
encourages them to be a little bit safer with it all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
fantastic. So how far has it gotten? How many schools are you representing now?
I would proudly say we're real big on a few campuses.
Okay.
Purdue's another really big one for us.
Right on.
And then Michigan, Wisconsin, Alabama is the biggest one. Like, Alabama is huge. I didn't realize how big it was until
Yeah.
we got down there.
Well, yeah, that's big time football. That's like a religion down there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they're
for sure.
They're all about it, and so I'm sure for their students, it's got to be almost impossible to get a ticket.
Yeah. Well, also, you run into the issue of some of these schools don't allow it. So, like, Tennessee doesn't allow it. And when I was down at Tennessee this past year, they really wanted that. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, they don't allow you to trade student tickets. We are never touching this then.
Yeah,
Right.
And then there's also the schools that they are able to supply enough for the demand. And we're also never touching those schools because there's not anyone getting scammed there. You can just claim your ticket and you're good.
Right.
So it's a very niche market, but I know I have a lot of college students as my audience, and I felt like this is a perfect thing that can serve them, help them.
Yeah,
It also fits
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, I know when I used to go to UNLV Rebel games back when they were at Sandboyd Stadium and they were winning 3 games a season, it was not an issue.
Yeah,
like I
those
could get season tickets, no problem.
And I'd imagine even now with them playing at Allegiant, there's probably more student tickets than the demand.
Yes, there are still plenty of seats available.
Most of the games, they don't open up the upper bowl. They kind of started to recently
Right,
as the team
when they had a
started to
little
improve.
success. Yeah.
Like when Boise State came, for example. Like,
Right.
Now they're starting to open it up. But for the most part, they just use the lower bowl. And so there's essentially endless tickets available. But, maybe this year it changes because they're kind of favored to win the Mountain West now,
we'll see.
maybe make the playoff, which would be kind of cool, especially if they expand it. We're getting in for sure.
Yeah, and if it gets big, if UNLV takes off, then we bring Bordeaux in.
Yeah.
Get that ticket exchange going.
Yeah, exactly.
For the students' sake, I do hope that it never reaches that because it's never fun to have to stress over if
True.
you're getting a ticket or not.
Yep.
But it is nice for those students on the campuses we're on. And then we're going to continue to, of course, serve more campuses that need it.
So I was watching your channel and I noticed that you're selecting a team, and it's down to last I saw was like 50 teams for your first. It's going to be your first dynasty, right? Coming
Correct.
up.
I'll do like 10 videos or something with them.
Okay, and so I was trying to look and I was going to write them down, but out of that 50, do you have one that you're like kind of leaning towards that, like, oh, I hope this is the one?
No, because I do it based off of engagement most of the time. Like schools that really want me, like FIU last year just came in and hard sold out of nowhere. And I was about to do Middle Tennessee.
That's near and dear to my heart. So yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. It's most likely going to be a smaller school. I did Nebraska in 25, FIU in 26. So I've done both, but in 27, I would prefer to do a smaller school just because I want the grind. I want the challenge. And it's always fun to take up the smallest schools.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no question.
There's nothing greater in the game than when you're like Ball State and now you're like number 4 ranked and Oregon's got to come to town.
Right.
You're like, this would never happen on any planet.
Becoming a fan of that school. I became a fan of the University of New Mexico just from using them on 14 and building them up.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Let me ask you all then.
Sure.
Do you have a first team that you all are going to do on 27?
I do. I know
Go ahead.
what team. I plan to use New Mexico State.
So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
They're, small school, tough to recruit. You're recruiting against Texas where you have the pools. And for me, I'm a uniform guy. And I really like that burgundy and black and white. I think it looks really sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So
They got a
like,
cool stadium.
Yes, I agree.
I like the cold weather schools.
Right.
I like to play in the cold weather where there's going to be like snow. And hopefully now,
Yeah, the snow should be better this
Dynamic
year.
weather, we should get better weather and geographically appropriate weather. So I was thinking I was going to take maybe Buffalo because
you always use Buffalo.
I love Buffalo, or if not Buffalo, Eastern Michigan.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They've
they're
done a lot
terrible.
with Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I can't get behind the gray field, though. They are in the running, so if they do send a hard sell, I guess I might
well, there you go.
have to get used to it.
All right, so let's get some more plugs in here before we let you go. So again, it is BORDEAUX, Bordeaux. You're obviously on YouTube. Where else can people find your content?
Twitter, Instagram, basically same handle. Hopefully I come up. If not, I'm going to keep on working hard.
Sure.
All right, and then what can people look forward to? What are you excited about? I know, aside from obviously these dynasty rebuilds, what else can we look forward to?
Honestly, just having fun on the game. I want to do more of the imperialism stuff I was telling you about.
That was such a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So look, I
he's
want
got something.
Oh, go ahead,
Yep.
Ben.
With mascots, too. I've been able to get with mascots for a couple years. It's so fun with the mascots.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's
anyone
great.
wins.
Oh, dude, my money is on the orange.
The orange. I want the guy. Is it Rhode Island with the testicle guy? Testes.
RISD, Rhode Island State
Yeah, that's
School of Design.
I got to look this up now.
Yeah, the Rhode Island
Island's
School
mascot's
of
a
Design.
testicle?
Yeah, it's Rhode Island School of Design.
It's Scrody, I think is his name.
Scrody.
Yeah.
no way.
He's looking at
School
it.
of
He's typing it in.
Design.
Yep. mascot. Oh, the look on his face.
No way.
So look, the next time you're in the room with EA,
with the developers, right?
Dude, this might be one to just kind of slide under the table to like.
I know you're not doing Division II schools, but there's one I really need you to look at.
How is this real?
Yeah, that's what's so great about it. That's college football right there. That's the love.
You just got me to eliminate a school off of my map now. This is the coolest school from Rhode Island. I can't do the normal Rhode Island school.
Nice. Dude, look at us doing the Lord's work.
So, look, we're going to be letting you go here. Yeah. Right, we're sure we got lots to get to, but I want to thank you personally for coming on to the show. Oh, and one other thing, man. God, I had so much stuff going on in my mind. You know, some people, they feel like Bordeaux is like, oh, he's too good for us, things like that. But man, let nobody ever say that you are not a down to earth dude. Right? I've been talking to this guy kind of back and forth, like as we got closer and closer to recording, and man, just such a normal guy, man. I'm like, dude, I totally hang out with him. Like we were into the same things, like we could be friends, and dude, so it's fantastic to have you on the show. We want to thank you. Our fans are going to go friggin' bonkers, and we're super excited, and we're absolutely going to have you back on the show anytime you want to come on. You got something to plug or you want to do something, you just let me know.
I just want to chat. I just want to have fun. Like,
dude, yeah.
I am a diehard college football fan, and especially on the video game side, I'm grinding it out.
Yeah.
So to talk about it, it's like,
I'll be following. I'm sure our page, we're going to blast this out to every single person that we have reached to, and, hopefully they will subscribe and they will follow along with you, and then we'll have you back on anytime you want, man.
Well, I appreciate y'all as well.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.